like that he just went for it. Almost.
What he's doing right now is going to keep him from wanting to try long for a long time.
He's got $9,700. He's rich.
He drops an off for his
that's the
friend.
definition of ballin'.
Would love to see, I know that Stiko got a kill there, picked up a flash, but would have loved to see just a flash by there. I mean, it's a full save. You can afford the $200. Try and go for a plant. Instead of just spreading out, trying to go for kills. But it's a 3-0 lead for Big here on that CT side. Full buy for both sides. We don't have an off though on that T side from Godsent. But full set of utility, just Sand that's missing. He used the Molly early. But this is a B default, taking B short first. With some nades, taking some control, and we'll see the big reply here. We know that they're up in mid, having a bit of a party.
Ooh, Maiden gets the better of that timing. Xantera surely thought his Molotovs there at short A did enough, but Maiden just walks right past it, gets in an optimal position and punishes that push. Godsent, they're in an okay position here. If they're somehow able to push back these connector players, but Farlake, ooh, he's made it far. Keto has no idea.
Oh! Still with the win. Didn't know where the follow-up attack was coming from. One player at Graffiti, that's Tizian, and he's waiting. He's got a teammate flanking in. That's Searson, who can grab a long angle. Oh, excuse me, not in Graffiti's over outside of the door. So that's a nice early start to the round of the kill, and they add on top of it, they know Maiden's position. And there's the flank. Searson's got it. 4-0 for Big.
It might have looked good for Godsent, but if we pay attention to Big's map control there, they have all of mid, they have connector as well, they have 3 guys still there, it's very quick on the rotate, and on top of that, like Jason pointed out, Keto just getting that kill just cements that round for me. As soon as you lose that entry, you don't have any other map control. When you take B short first when you Godsent, the idea later on is to go from connector or even go from mid and take over mid. But because Big played that round so aggressively, full map control, you kind of force Godsent's hand there. And because timing wasn't there, they lose an additional member and they're kind of just forced to walk out of B. That's all in the place of good early round aggression from Big. Another buy round here though from Godsent. Not as much utility as last round, but still a good buy nonetheless. We should see a faster round here though.
I think that was a missed Molotov coming out of Big. Doesn't seem to matter at this point. Taps down. Ooh.
Dude, he's been a monster to start this game.
Yeah, he's going for it, man. He's full W, mouse won the full ordeal. Now, interestingly enough, on the outset of this, neither teams are eliminated, but if you look at it, it looks like Fnatic get the taste of the winner. And in his current pace, it's going to be Big. Don't want to jinx it. You know how Jason has his own jinx. He gets mad when we copyright infringe that. So
yeah, that's my jam. That's my brand. Step off.
Yes, sir. The Jason Jinx. Nonetheless, Fnatic wait for the winner. Nip wait for the loser.
Ooh.
What's up now, Swede? Woo!
Oh my.
Shout out to Jaguar. Nowadays, he's a professional poker player.
Good old Shag.
Back in the day, North American, I was going to say superstar. North American profile, CS profile.
I remember it might have been at one of the Sevo lands or Columbus Farlands. They make it look easy. Here comes Antares. What on earth? Look, I got a story, but on the back of this round, of course, it's gotten very close. Farley with the AWP has to try to defend this bomb. Finds one shot on his Antares. This is all going to be the difference maker right here. If he can take down Keto, he puts a first round on the board for Godsent. And he finds it. So there you have it. First round on the board. Easy for Farley.
And remember, this round, this was a 5 versus 3 for Big. They were in full control. They had already picked off 2 members of Godsent. But with some good movement and some map spacing here, Godsent are able to pick off Big's defense towards that restroom, and they're able to convert this round.
That they are. No, what I was going to say was, I think it was MLG Columbus, or maybe it was one of the Sevo lands in Columbus. I remember Skadoodle and I think we went to go get something to eat, and we were talking, and like we look up, and no shit, there's Jaguar playing poker on TV. Like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That is cool, man. I'm glad
Anyway.
you told that story. I don't think...
Yeah, I wanted to fill some dead air because I felt like, the Kekona meter wasn't quite as high up as it could be. So if I talk a little bit more, maybe a little bit like this, maybe we get that Kekona meter on up.
Yeah, stop softening your accent. Give us a full-blown Alabama cast.
No, dude, you had me do some weird...
there we go.
Was it yeehaw? 100% Kekona.
Kekona.
Yeehaw, mother truckers. Here we go. The B-bomb site. Looks like the destination, but did Godsent put in the right address on their GPS? Because so far, they're looking a little bit lost in the sauce. A grenade from Zontera is going to land right at the feet of Stico. Do a little bit of damage to Crystal as well. And a peek through the smoke, Zontera is going to find an M4 kill. Booyah. Kekona.
3 on 4 as Godsent look to the other side of the map. They've only got 42 seconds, though. They've got to hustle, and they've got a lot of angles, a lot of corners to clear, and they can't exactly walk. So the early information can be picked up by Searson with the AWP. He's going to step up closer. Oh, and he's grabbed it. He's found Crystal. Now they have to challenge him. Rotation going to be underway, and I think this is about as close to an impossible scenario as you can get.
Well, eat your heart out, Jason. Tapson's not going to be here to defend the honor of Big in this round, but the timer has ticked down. They're going to go ahead and stick the plant here. It's Stico. Has to stick the shot. I think they're aware that he might be close.
No.
Look at this aggression. They've decided to push through because they planted on this side. It was the safest play. It was the only option they really had. Stico, 1v2, and they're trying to close in on him.
They know where he is too. They got him locked in. Oh, that's a risky peek, and that is nicely done. Okay, that got much closer than I expected it to. That made me very nervous.
Yeah, and we've seen Godsent making it close like this, but once again, it's the same storyline, is that Big have so much map control that no matter once Godsent gets into the bomb site, as long as Big are patient and they don't overplay their hand, eventually that retake, it generally comes into fruition for them.
Exactly, and especially as well, we've seen, Godsent, even the last round that they ended up winning, it was a 3-on-5 situation. So they go into the bomb sites, they get the bomb down, sure, they get some trades, but because Big tends to have the man advantage and even utility advantage, it's just a lot of individual performances here from Godsent winning them, potentially winning them the rounds, but they only have one other round on the board so far. And that could have been a money breaker round there if Godsent would have won that, but instead, Big with 2 surviving members and a double op setup and an entry for round number 7.
And Godsent lose that player, and they're just like, nope, we out. Nope. We want nothing to do with it. Peace.
The only thing at least that's like a little bit positive is that Crystal has been up in mid here actively, and he hasn't spotted anyone, so they could have had the potential of like falling back. Now we're talking timing-wise of like it should really be like Crystal making the first move here once they get this play, so we at least have the rotates, because we see here on the minimap, Big is rotating over to this B bomb site now, so as I say that, I take it back. They actually rotated over to A, so timing here is key. If you're Big, if you have 3 towards A, you tend to push a little bit here after a while.
I don't even think
map control.
Godsent know really what they want to do at this point.
I think that they get a little bit worried because Crystal's not seeing anyone, so he's like, oh, this is a lot of free map that we get. And on top of that, we look at the utility from Godsent's side. It's 2 mollies left, 1 smoke that they just threw away, and 1 flashbang. So now they don't really have enough utility to kind of rotate back here. And on top of that, not enough man advantage. So this is...
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult here for Godsent. Trading game needs to be a point. It's the same round we kind of saw. 3-on-5 again, hitting that A bomb site. No nades left.
I wonder if that gap in the smoke along A was intentional. They seem to know it was going to be there. Holding for a peek on that little bottom right corner.
Yeah, that deagle definitely.
I'm surprised he got out alive,
like
to be
he
honest.
knew.
They had to have known that that was going to leave a gap. Still, didn't work out, but a clever little trick.
$61 and another dominant round from Big here. So we look at economy, and it's not looking great for Godsent here. If we just look at the grand scheme of things, 6-1 in favor of Big. And like I said, because the economy is looking so good, all the utility in the world, double off setup. This is a round where we talk about the timeouts. You know, sure, this is just an eco, but for next round, or even for this round, they do have armor, but just deagles. So like trading game, we're not going to see a lot of close quarters. There's going to be a lot of individual performances here, 1-1-1. But for next round, I would love for them to do something together a little bit fast. Let's not die, or let's not lose the duel, and let's do something together.
Yeah, there's a lot of for Godsent. There's a lot of like going loud and slow, and that's just not really a recipe.
Loud
for
and proud.
success.
They
Well, I suppose you could do that too. At least you know, you gotta hit your shots there, I suppose.
they get like really scared when they lose one player. It's like they lose someone to one of these AWPs, and then they're like, you know what? Let's not do this, and they back away pretty quickly. Now there's a lot of space being given up to this defense, or by this defense, and all 5 players of Godsent are ready and in position to attack.
But no nades,
No one's looking long.
smokes, no flashbangs, no nothing. This is going to be a very difficult round for Godsent. Again, I talked about just a one flashbang to just hit the bomb site, you know, but instead they waste them early, and it's just a bunch of deagles trying to hit the bomb site. It's not going to work out. I feel like now it's just all about the individual performances of like, hey, let's just try and hope for a 1 deag instead of like trying to do something together. Like Jason pointed out, just the whole thing of as soon as you lose the opening round, you kind of just fall apart. It kind of looks like, oh God, we're kind of lost. That's why I had mentioned here, when you have that issue, try and just do something together right off the bat. Do a fast execute even on the B bomb side, for example. Maybe even a monster push. But just to do something together here, because it's been a lot of sloppy play so far coming in from Godsent, and Big is just playing this so well.
And I think the word you might be looking for, Robin, is stagnation. It's like they just get stuck up and start to stagnate wherever, right before the cusp of getting in the site. Of course, they don't have the nades, they don't have the firepower. I guess you could just stand there.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, because like even on these defaults, you see there was a B default. We just have Crystal up in mid, and once you lose the entry, you don't get any map control. It's gonna be stagnant. But here we see a little bit of a fast round, and we see at least some trades coming in from Godsent. This is I think the best round they've had so far this half. 4-on-3 now. They have mid control, and nice shot from Crystal makes it a 4-on-2. Fast rotates from Keto though. He has an opto on the rotate. He gets the first. This is when Godsent really need to take a breath, talk things through, and come up with a game plan.
Oh my God.
So aggressive. I like this move, though. He's got a smoke to cover his back as well.
He's getting flanked out, though, isn't he?
But Zanteris is also flanking.
Look at this. All over the place. Uh-oh. Not a good time for Zanteris. Tries to tap it. And you're right, Kobe Bryant.
That's a bomb.
That is the name we're looking for, yeah.
Oh, that is the bomb. And Zanteris has about 1 million ways he can play this. Time as he reloads, 1 versus 1. There's a smoke. Zanteris steps in front and cannot handle the peak.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
The staircase
steps in.
Yeah, the staircase gets the better of Zanteris, and it's another round on the board for Godsent. It was like I'd mentioned, it was the best opening that they've had. A bit of a faster round, but the trades were there as well. So get the man advantage, even though it gets down to 1-on-1. We look at the economy on the big side, and it's not great, all things considered. 2 SMGs, a deagle on Tabson. We have a lot of nades here, though. Op on Searson, but this should be a somewhat aggressive round for the CTs. Try and get a kill initially, kind of fall back in a 5v4 situation. And a good buy from Godsent.
Keto with the kit. Imagine he's going to try to linger around as long as possible. I say that. He's pushing towards Monster now. So Big have had to get creative here. They've pushed B. They've said, hey, there's nobody here at all. Start your move.
Yeah, and even underpass as well. Same thing there, right? Like, you don't see anyone. Now this is when you see the rotates coming in from Big. It's a 2-man stack on the A-bomb side, but the rotate should still come here. They should have 3. Oh my god, he goes down. That's
big nade.
That's a blunder considering you have so much map control. Searson goes down here. They're going to lose the site eventually. Zanteris, though, gets a 2 and makes it a 3-on-3. So still very much doable here from the Big side.
That deagle had a chance. Still, low HP, Tizian on the flank. And Keto coming from the other side. There is utility. There's a flashbang from Keto. There's Molotovs. There's plenty of things they can do, but #1 priority has got to be getting Tizian close to this bomb site. Molotov out. Here comes the retake as the smoke is about to fade. Tizian walking slowly up. There is a smoke for the bomb and a kit on Keto if they can just get close enough to put it into play. There's the smoke. Molotov out as well. Now Keto's going to cross over, but he's going to get aggressive. Remember, he's got the kit jumping in. Now tapping. Tizian just needs to delay things, and they might have
There
it.
it is.
They might have it, but there's the
yeah.
shot. A single one from Furlig. Farlig.
Yep, and that was a
Farlig.
I said Styko
Furlig.
before instead of
Furlig.
Stiko. It's okay. You know, it's even difficult for me,
Why'd I do that?
these European names.
Old Furlig.
Stiko,
Old mate Furlig.
Farlig,
Old Furlig.
Farlig.
My
Liga
word.
scoobly doobly. So Zen shows up in that round. That's kind of cool. That bodes well for Godsent. Albeit, was in the academy. He's going to be an agent. Had decided to have a career path change rather. Now he joins the rest of Godsent with 2 frags on the board. Meanwhile, this does not change the pace for Godsent. They're still going to be a little slow. They're not going to push it too hard. Meanwhile, it's big on pistols.
B stack here though from Big. I like this. In some cases you tend to see on eco rounds like these that CTs just spread out. Not a fan of that. Odds of getting a kill with just USB and no armor is just so low. Instead, just go together, go for trades. This is all about getting kills. I mean, winning the round is honestly, it's a super bonus because you don't even expect to do that. So good early on setup here from Big. And for Godsent it's important then.
All right, then.
You can see
You
Stiko,
gotta
he was
feel
trying to
good,
bait it out too, trying to throw them off with the running away noise cues. He sniffed them out.
That's a worst knock-knock joke ever.
Well, it was looking cool there for a minute. Not gonna lie. Searson grabs an AK, 122 HP, one of the lone survivors of that whole ordeal. Backs away. Bomb hasn't even been planted yet. We're 30 seconds left in the round. But shouldn't be any problem. Now that is, unless Big can find some weird positioning right here in the form of Tizian or Searson. I imagine Searson's just going to lay low key, keep that AK for the next round.
If he can.
Tizian wants one for himself. Yeah, if he can.
I don't think they'll go for a hunt. Their money's relatively low. If you're Tizian, you might as well just challenge to the death here. Nice flashbang. Not going to do enough. And it looks like Searson should be all right. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to hunt him down. There is one player kind of creeping in that direction. It's your number 7 man in Stiko. As he drops into water. Searson's not looking in this direction. He is now, but he missed the timing. And that's a nice little cleanup. 7-4 as Godsent comes back into the game.
Oh, Godsend.
Opting for a low buy here from the Big side. Wouldn't have an op on that. See, the side, something we've seen again and again from the Big side, even double op sometimes. So low buy round here, making sure that they have enough money to have a proper buy for next. I like this. They're still in the lead, 7-4. And another B default from Godsent. It's been pretty, I say B default, but it's been pretty much their only default.
Oh, that's a nice little nade onto Keto's position. Some chip damage dealt as Godsent looked to get up to 5 rounds on the board. I think Big's just going to rotate over and stack this. Looks like all 5 players are coming over, at least 4 of them, as Tapson makes his way.
And again, it's one of those rounds that I mentioned. It's better to stack on these rounds. You still only have pistols, limited nades. You see the flashbang come in, and you see some movement on the Big side as well. Just trying to fish for some information, trying to figure out where Godsent is actually at.
No,
I
that's
can't
not
believe
the answer.
I can't believe he didn't hit him once. Oh, that's a good transfer down from Tapson. That was quick and precise. Pop flashes out. Another nice kill from Zenters.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's the bomb. This is getting dangerous. Keto just has to stay alive. Don't peek, but the Molotov's going to force his hand. He's got one. No more damage. But this is costly every step of the way for Godsent, and I think they've lost too much. 8th round for Big. That's a nice stack.
And it comes down to the whole thing again. We talk about map control. Obviously, on a map like Overpass, it's very difficult to get map control on this map because it's so large, and you tend to be, even on CT side, you tend to be so aggressive in mid. But because it's just a B default here for Godsent, and then they just make the move, they don't have mid. And for Big, nice little gamble on the B bomb site. And as I'd mentioned, in terms of just overall pace for Godsent, it's been a little bit slow. It's been a little bit, we don't really know what we kind of want to do. I love this change of pace from them this time around, instead of just going for those B defaults. And this a little bit, it's a nice setup here as well. If Godsent can kind of get this read as well. We see the nade as well through the door. If they get the timing right here, they have an ability of at least getting free map control. We just have Steerson there with an op on long.
Oh my god, he's pushing in the underpass. Tizian has found a timing on this. Crystal just gave it up. Or excuse me, Stiko just gave it up.
And this is a fault of Godsent, I'd say. Normally you do have the 4 members playing off of the other 4 and then one holding the flank. But makes the move on at least. And he at least clears it here. Stiko gets the kill on Tabson, so it's a 4-on-4. Another one for Farlig as well, it's a 4-on-3. This is a good little setup here early on for Godsent, and they already have the A bomb site. This is a retake scenario for Big.
Yeah, but a double flank coming in. They just have to keep, Keto just has to maybe get 1 kill, stay alive. That's a huge pick. Now here comes the follow-up. He does go down. I can't, these flanks have been the most powerful play for Big in this entire round, and neither of them have had the courage to move forward and go fast.
But that's a huge pick on the Stiko. And you know, Xantares and Tizian, they've got full nades. That's a good answer for Maiden, though. Now Tizian, he's going to probably just look to maybe get 1 pick, and he actually does it. He's going to go for more. He's got the smoke. Bomb is planted for him, but Zen just goblin angle. Takes him out.
Goblins now.
Can't believe those flanks never did anything.
It's tough, right? Because you kind of lose the timing as soon as Keto goes down there. Like you said, if he survives, you still have the timing. But as soon as he dies, as soon as that happens, you have the bomb site. For Godsent, you know, if you at least talk about it a little bit, as soon as that happens, you're like, okay, well, someone has to hold the flank. And we see that right off the bat. So timing-wise, they lost it a little bit.
My big thing is right when Tizian actually started making his play towards Fountain, they were already knocking on the door of the bomb site. And it's like, what's the point of the flank at that stage? Like, there's enough time for them to get the bomb planted and realize the flank is weak. I don't know, it's nitpicky, but I would have liked to have seen that actually have, like, you know, if that's Fur, he's up that ladder so quick.
Yeah, but I also think it's a fault here of Big. We see this round, for example, one of the things we noted that they haven't done a lot is HE the door for connector. And they did that last round, and it's a read then, because even for this round, we have an HE, you can blow up the door if you want, just to try and get the read on Godsent, but instead you don't. So as soon as you blow up the door, I mean, it's for Godsent, it's just like, hey, this hasn't happened before. Shot for
Flash bangs out, Mac 10 in play, double kill.
Easy
Nice
for
spin. Maiden.
Old Furlig, old mate. But it's Tapson and Keto. Tapson does have the AWP. He's going to probably just try to hide out. Not really a whole lot for him to do in a 1-on-4.
This turned into a game. This turned into quite a half from Godsent. They were getting buried early on.
Yeah, and it's the rounds leading up to it. Big winning rounds, but not really getting their economy in order. So Big, or rather Godsent, winning those close rounds puts Big on saves. And as you mentioned, I think we went from like a 6-0 or 6-1, and now it's going to be 8-6.
And we talked
but is it enough?
You know, I think it is enough for Godsent as long as they have their CT side in order, and it's looking like it. And we talked about Godsent constantly doing this B default. This time around, I mean, if you've got Maiden with the Mag 10 just getting 3 kills, 3 entries onto B, it doesn't matter how much map control Big has. So definitely huge entries for Maiden to just timing himself out of that monster there.
Last round of the half. It's a scrappy buy from Big. Deagle on Keto, SMG on Xantares. We do have an op still though on Searson. He needs to go aggressive here. Fish for an entry, make it a 5v4. Not gonna happen. Farlig gets the better of him there. We do have Tapson still here aggressively, but it doesn't. He just gets to 1 now. I'm not sure if it's good enough. 4v3 now. Good
the
spot for Godsent.
The awkward part there is Tapson could have got more than 1, you know? Like, that could have been a 9-6 half with him just mopping up 2 or 3 players right there. That's just not the way it goes. They back out.
I feel like he had 18 kills like 5-6 rounds ago.
Yeah.
He's been pretty quiet ever since then. Only added 4 more onto the board, so he's really cooled off. This has been a good recovery for Godsent, and I mean, you'd imagine this being their map pick on the CT side. They'll be just fine with this kind of a lead. That's a nice nade kill. Oh no. Oh dear, the readjustment so quick. It's allowed Big to get back into this game. Farlig, not Furlig, is able to add one more before being traded off, and we have a 1 versus 1.
Tizian knows exactly where Maiden is.
Spam it.
Get him.
Oh.
There we go.
Yep,
That's
you go.
bold with that flashbang coming out. Either way, Trace, that's it. 9-6 is going to be the halftime score in the favor of Big. We're going to head to a break for halftime. When we come back, we'll see what Big has on the offensive side of Overpass. Stay tuned.
We're back with the second half of map number 2. Woo! Stunna's excited, Jason's excited, Christine's excited.
And who are you?
I might be excited. We'll see here if we get a pistol round win here from Godsent.
I like the third person thing you were doing the other day, Fifth Laren.
What do you mean?
When you were talking in like third person about your third person. It was kind of wild, really. It was a wild, mind-bending experience that only the viewer would understand.
Listen, Fifth takes no shit. Right? I am also excited.
Is also excited. That's a pro
No,
tip.
I'm not excited yet. I'm excited if Godsent gets this pistol round. We get a game of our hand. This is Big being up 1-0 already in maps and 9-6 up.
Trace
on that first side.
On the flank.
Yo, what's up?
We had an hour and a half best of 3 the other day.
Yeah,
this one's knocking on the door at the moment. It's almost, you know, we're getting there to that same exact point.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy, he's done it.
Even a knife.
What are you trying to tell me, Jason? What are you trying to sell me on right now? Because I feel like you're trying to finesse something right here. 40
He's been
chest-wise.
jinxing it. Every time he mentions stuff, like he
really is, isn't it?
I just wanted to bring up, Trace, that I spent a lot of months watching you doing some of the other broadcasts in Germany of, you know, those long series that you had, 4 or 5 hour series.
Nice. Salt on the wound.
I just wanted to remind you that, you know, some people get it a little bit easier.
Right. Now, who is that? Exactly. Where do we put our names on that list? I'm kidding.
How do we sign up?
Series.
How do we sign up for the short series?
I don't know if you guys do the script reading beforehand, but I try to stay, you know.
Yeah, you like to be surprised. You don't want to know what's going to happen to your character.
Exactly. You know, I've recently started playing Tarkov. Like, I know what disappointment is, okay?
With the game, or, or how good you are at it?
No, the game. It's just going in there, some just full-on Chad just wrecking me. just owning me, and I just lose it all, and that's all she wrote, and that's just the game in a nutshell. Then
you were
do it
pretty
all
good
over
at Red Alert Remastered. I think that might be your thing that you should stick to.
Yeah, competitive Command and Conquer.
Scene's making a comeback.
Yeah, man, I didn't know that they even ever had one, but it sounds pretty lit.
Yeah, your Tanya timings are pretty nice.
Tonya. Anyways, talk about timings. Let's look at some of the timings in this round so far. For Tabson and company, on the T side, Big Clan look to get this bomb planted. They've got their sights set on A for the time being. Another Windows sound coming through my headphones, hopefully just mine. But we'll find out soon enough when the computer restarts all on its own.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
if you drop out of this call, we'll know from there. There's not a whole lot of time. A little bit of a mini fake going on. Searson, Mac 10. Oh, he hasn't committed. There's one close to his left. He's found that. Xanteres has found the only A defender. And Searson is going to find a couple of players on the other side of the smoke. It's going to be an 11th round for Big.
And it's a great round from Big here as well. Sure, they cut down on the time, but we see here as well Godsent stacking towards that B bomb site with 4 members. And that small little fake. Obviously, we know as well the fake wouldn't really have mattered if they had just gone 5. But nonetheless, just to look at it, even in these eco rounds or anti-eco rounds, to just see the timings and stuff from Big. And the timing was definitely there. As soon as you see the B fake, the CT aggression starts and we get the kill right off the bat. And obviously it's a nice, clean round after that, with Godsent trying to save 3 weapons for another round.
Well then.
Boom.
Here we are, 11-6. And I'm sure Searson, he would have wanted to get away with more than 1 kill there, and it looked like he almost did that reload. Unlucky timing. But once again, Godsent, this is a crappy buy. Not enough money coming in, and the score line, we're getting to that point where it's getting to be almost a landslide here.
Trace, is it
almost guaranteed?
Is it crawfish season down there yet?
There'd be some crawfish around here right now, the mud bugs, if you will.
Nice. You having a boil anytime soon?
I haven't really done that. There's this whole global situation going on, Jason. So it's not like
that's a fair point. You know,
but I mean that does sound good.
It's just asking a question.
Go eat that tonight.
You didn't have to clap back
Jason
so hard.
just tried to have some, casual conversation.
Sorry, I just figured like I'm picking up where it is that Christine and Robin won't pick up. I'll just shit all over you, Jason. Straight up. I'm kidding. Speaking of getting shit all over, it's Tizian that does just that. Makes Godsent look foolish in that either. Let him go. They're just going to continue to pound away at what is the defense here from the Godsent side.
There's a Timo sounding dog near you. Trace?
Nah, it's not me. It must be Jason.
Yeah. This is just me making dog noises for no reason.
Fish? We already had Robin doing it.
It's what I do now.
Robin doing it.
Robin did give us a woof woof.
That's for later in the evening after this series is finalized. Furry Laren.
Nice, guys.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, get your Photoshop skills in tip-top shape because we are looking for a furrylin. That's right, not a fifth Laren, a furrylin.
Yeah, best Photoshop of Robin as a furry is going to win something. I have plenty of esports gear to give away back home. I'll give the winner something.
Give me a nice-looking tail. That's all I ask for.
Powerful tail.
Christ. Well, you guys are weird. I'm leaving.
Crystal.
Well, I can't shake the vivid image that is Fifth Laren, the furry, unfortunately.
I don't have it quite yet. That's why I'm calling out to all the artists in the community. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Well, hopefully they can put to rest whatever it is that's gone on.
Rule 34, baby.
Yeah? What's that?
You know what it is.
Okay, Boomer.
What is Rule 34? Please.
Really,
this is really not
I've really walked into something.
Yeah,
yourself on the
please
broadcast.
clarify.
You know what? I'm going to look it up
You
on the
set
internet, too,
yourself
just to
up
make
for
sure.
this one.
Yeah, it's
Rule
fine.
34.
Rule 34. Rule 34 of the internet.
The Urban Dictionary. Okay, I think I can read this one. Oh, well.
No, on second thought.
It's not that bad, Trace. Don't bust out into laughing.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but there's a couple different definitions. I'll go for it. You know what? Rule 34.
You sure?
This is per Jason Moses O'Toole. That's Jason Moses O'Toole. Rule 34. If it exists, there's porn of it. If there isn't, there will be.
Yep, that's it. It's a very simple rule. It feels like a law of nature at this point with the way the internet has worked. Either way, nice shooting from Tapson. He is a stunning player.
Interesting. You are correct. It's just Farlig by himself. Imagine that. Hey, Robin, are you there? This is a real question. I was just going to ask him a question.
Yeah, no, I'm having a hard time over here, Trace, currently.
No,
yeah,
I feel you, man. I can totally understand how those things happen. Hey, so when you look at Danish operas, obviously there's this guy named Device, right? And, like, he's done some cool things, I guess. But what do you think about maybe where a Farlig slots in, or maybe where some of these other Danish superstars starts to slot in now that this Astralis team has found a little bit of unstable times?
No, I was talking about operas in general. I think one of the first few days here, and one of the things I think the reason why we speak so highly about Device, for example, is he's not really a flashy opera. He's a very consistent one at that. He gets the 1 or 2 kills that you kind of expect from that. So kind of the same thing as a Cajun B. Whereas I feel like Farlig might be a little bit more of an aggressive opera.
Combat opera.
A combat opera gets a little bit more space, goes a little bit more for the entries rather than being the consistent one. But I mean, you're right. I think that now with the Astralis going through a bunch of changes and stuff like that, there's definitely more ways than one to play that off. I used an example, for example, with Guardian when he was standing for us during Flashpoint. Guardian is a defensive opera, Hallzerk is an aggressive opera. So very different in terms of play styles. And this is looking pretty rough here for Godsent. It's 13-6. It's a tech timeout being called.
Yeah, this is
might want to do one of those, magic restarts, reboots.
Jason, you called out Tapson, and he's woken up again.
Yeah,
we're seeing him at 27
so what's up now,
all of a
Jason?
sudden.
It's a good kind of jinx.
What's up now, Jason?
Yeah, Jason.
Woo, come on, Jason.
What do you mean? I'm the one who got lit a fire under his ass. You guys were over here doing nothing, going to sleep. I'm the one who got him on the board.
What are you talking about? Whatever, dude. Stop malding. Anyway, let's move forward with this. Let's move past this. Searson, AWP in the connector. Let's talk about a duo that could put some hurt in here on the side of Godsent. Could really put some struggle on, some strain even. Not a noodle in sight, but here's Farlig with his AWP. He does get the whiff that somebody's coming from the playground, and he's right. Tapson beats him to the trigger. And what's up now, Jason?
Yeah, another kill that I am the direct causer of. So
you did
again,
that.
Yep. Listen, I'm essentially dropping a 30 bomb in this game.
Wait, what just happened?
Did Trace just yell at someone?
No, what are you talking about? Anyway, focus on the game, guys.
Nothing to see here. All quiet on the map, and Big is just going to march up long. There's nothing to stop this. Zen has a FAMAS. That is boosted up at the sign right here, right now. 3 defenders at this bomb site, actually, so pretty decent defense, and you do hate to see that. It doesn't feel good.
Oh, no. Well, he's going to readjust. This is looking like a pretty good crossfire for Godsent, though. If there's not some good flashbangs for Big to follow this attack up.
Oh, that would have been a great kill to find. Tapson's going to follow it up, and remember, he's got low HP. Also the bomb. 25 seconds, and Tapson needs someone else to step up and help him get into the site. The op is on point from Searson, and it's just down to Maiden. He falls as well, 14-6. Big is just 2 rounds away from closing out this series.
Well, would you look at that, Robin Johansson?
And would you look at that? Robin stepped away for...
He stepped away.
Yeah, he's in the little boy's room.
Aw, poor little guy. Anyway, easy round for Big. And by that, I mean they strung it out all the way to the end. It lasts all the time possible. And now we find them on 14-6. So really, if you're Godsent at this point, you've made that pivotal decision. Guys, buy him if you got him.
Buy him if you got him, and they bought him. I mean, Farlig, he's back on that AWP. He's going for a pick here at water. He sees one and he misses. That's Stico, actually. That's not what you want to see. But Farlig on the other side of the map, he actually does connect.
You were actually correct about what Farlig was doing
Yeah.
while watching Stiko.
Yeah.
That's well played.
You know,
It's not bad.
way ahead of the game, Jason. You know me.
Just reading it.
Yeah, Jason.
Reading it like a coloring book.
Hey, now.
Santeris,
No
he's
puns
going
or
to
jokes
push
to be
forward.
made.
Ooh, he gets caught out by Stiko. Stiko's got backup, but he doesn't even need it.
Well, it looks like Godsent's going to get their first round of the second half on the board. A 2 versus 5. And Tapson finds another one. He's on a heater.
What a brain on this guy. I'm talking like galaxy-sized brain to jump over that like that, right? Tizian had a shot in the round, but it's not going to be for much longer. In fact, Farlig takes the shot for him. Zen cleans it up. And a round that Godsent are going to be thankful for. They get to hold on to some of what they have. That was the round they full sent it, and if they would have lost it, would have put Big up to 15, but that's not the case. Now we see split right down the middle almost.
Yeah, this is like
Weird
best case for
pick on the map.
Godsent as well. Just having the one member fall on their end. And obviously we know that Big have a big lead here, so for Godsent there's not a lot of room for error. They have the one round essentially that they're afford to make a mistake, but then having the economy on your side at least then will at least make it a competitive next round. So this is a good start to the comeback here. And the default at that from the Big side, from the door area as well, gets the first entry onto Stiko. And that's not what you want to see if you Godsent. That's a very quick opening that you end up dropping.
Whoa,
And Farlig as well, yeah, I was just going to say, this is, I mean, I feel like he definitely has to do this, especially he hasn't seen anyone in the beginning of the round here. He spots this guy too. I love it that he doesn't shoot, actually. Even here, I actually love it that he doesn't shoot here again. It's actually very cool play from Farlig. You have the intel here as well. You should see the rotate coming from Godsent. It should be a B stack with a very quick rotate. Now it's all on timing, because if you are Big here, you still have the timing here to kind of rotate over to A. So if the timing is off here from Godsent, let's say Farlig gets the first initial peek here and they decide to fall back, that bomb site will be wide open. But as I say that, they do trade into the kills there. It's still a 4-on-3 now in favor of Big. And as I mentioned with the timing, this is where it all kind of falls apart. We talked about the time with the Farlig peek there. He's the one that kind of wants to be the lurk, not to be the first guy to go, because now with 25 seconds left on the clock for Big, there's just so much time here to spread out. So much time to make Godsent worried. And I'm not a fan of this for Godsent either. They spread out way too much.
I think you have to almost, though. It's like the danger.
I'm not a fan. Not fair, because you already know you have no nades to begin with, right? So like it is still already a 2-on-3 situation. Yeah. You're hoping for hero plays, and sure, you can argue like both ways are obviously right calls to make, depending on what you want to do. But like odds-wise here is that you're really hoping for like even a 2-kill or a 3-kill.
I think the only thing is at 14 rounds, like you have to just kind of defend, especially with the time is low. I don't know. There's no real right or wrong answer in my mind. It's just Big just played that really well.
That's the beauty of CS.
Farlig could not have gone down after that first kill. The fact that he went down after that and opened up the escape route was just like that's the GG frag.
Yeah, especially as the flanker. I mean, he's the player that's initiating all the rotations for the Godsent side of things. Once he goes down, all of a sudden the entire map opens up. So definitely a valiant effort. Godsent, they're able to still actually produce an okay buy, but with the lack of utility here, they're going to have to fully rely on these opening kills. So Crystal, he's actually going to boost up Maiden, but that Molotov immediately pushes them off that. What happened?
I'm just thinking, you know, the Marshmallows wouldn't have stood a chance in there, and neither would the side of Godsent, right? So burnt out.
Are you on the floor over there, Stun? Are you that excited so you can barely contain yourself on the chair?
I just wanted the so if the camera does come up, you know, it's just like my feet, but I'm kidding. What I do want to see is Crystal continue to putting on the warpath here. However, Jason O'Toole, of course, now maybe absent. Is he here with us?
I'm here with you.
So Jason, what's your take? Does it end here?
Yes. I think it is.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
I'm going to call it a 2-on-4.
Rotations are coming in here, though.
Look at that. Would you look at it? Just look at that.
Oh, that smoke, though.
Almost got it. That's got to be a kill.
That was it.
Okay, 1 versus 2 for Searson. He's going to stick the plant. Here's the peek. All right.
I believed, Jason.
I did too.
Like Fox Mulder believed, you know?
Yeah.
He's still in a very bad spot here if he
Dated
got
reference.
sent. 2 members alive. I talk about economy.
You're a dated dude.
Do, 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 do.
He saved the double ops, but
Sorry.
I was meaning
had
to
it.
rewatch the X-Files here.
Don't do it.
No, it's not
Don't
worth
do it.
Don't do it.
It's the same thing with Power Rangers when you used to watch growing up, and I rewatched it a few years ago, and I can't believe how bad
Why
the
would
acting
you
was.
rewatch Power
Wait a
Rangers?
second. You rewatched the Power Rangers?
Curiosity
Rob?
got to
Nostalgia,
him.
man, nostalgia.
What was-
After the movie came
What
out.
was your
What kind of
favorite Ranger?
nostalgia?
What's your favorite Ranger?
Dude, listen, they're all cool, man. My favorite color back then used to be red, so the Red Ranger was mine.
That guy was a dick, man.
Of course.
The Green Ranger was where I was at. Calling the little T-Rex machine with a flute.
All right.
You have fantastic
I've
memory,
Got
Jason.
them Zelda flutes.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
kinda
like,
weird,
Wouldn't you know it?
Or you were a
Jason's
huge
over here
Power
watching
Rangers
this
fan.
every single day.
It's
Yeah.
not weird that I remember it. It's weird that Robin watched it last week.
That is also
Jason's like,
thing.
stay focused, everyone. Stay on topic.
Swapping the blame onto someone else. I don't know
He's
about
really
last
good
week,
at it, though,
but
right? Like, he's had a couple years to perfect the craft.
Yeah,
He really has
argue
gotten
with
good
my
at
logic.
dishing shit off at other people. This little guy, Lil Momo.
Speaking
Anyway,
of this little guy, Godsent is the little guy in this case. 5-on-3 now. 4 big, hitting the A-bomb site. This is looking to be a 16-8 scoreline unless Mad in Brazil, I was going to say Mad in Denmark can do something about it.
Oh, that's a nice little play on words. Man, what's up, Crystal? What you got?
What's up?
All right.
Yeah.
Bet CTO, anyone?
So, Maiden is from Montenegro. Just going to put that out there. Big Clan are going to win the game.
Made in Montenegro.
Maiden is from Montenegro.
Still cool.
It's still,
Made
it
in
is pretty
Montenegro.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's legit. He's the first
M-I-M.
Montenegro player we have.